I said, I'm a Buddhist. So he looked at me, he goes, what? I go, I'm a Buddhist. He goes, well, you're going to sign this paper, you're going to cut your leg. I said, no. I said, you can't cut none of my body off. I'll never make it to heaven. So they sent me to another hospital. And then that hospital sent me to the Philippines. And I was in the Philippines, and they had these other guys that are Koreans, but they had them handcuffed to the bed so they wouldn't split. And I was looking at them. They were showing me their wounds. I was showing them mine. We're all saying number one to each other. Here comes a priest again. And he tells me, Al, you know, we're here, and you got to sign this. We got to cut your leg off. And I told him, no, I'm a Zen Buddhist, man. You can't cut my leg off. So he got kind of frustrated. So they sent me to Japan. So when you go into Japan, they put you in these big old planes, and it's just for beds, up and down, up and down. And you got your that stuff they put in your veins right there. So when they land, it looks like a sea of beds out there, right? And I could hear some guys saying, see these. And I go, hey, are you saying the sevens? And here comes this guy, and he looked at me, and he started laughing. He goes, are you the Buddhist? And I go, yes, I'm Buddhist. And he started laughing. He pulled my bed out to the side, and he started pushing me. He said, they're going to operate on you. They're not going to take your leg off. He said, but you'll never walk. Sure. And I said, what? I'll walk. Just leave it on there. So they took me in. They cleaned me up. And then I had never had a R&R, rest and recuperation, and they said, you know what, if you could get up on crutches, he says, we'll give you an R&R. You get to go home and come back. And I said, yeah. So I tried to get up on crutches, but man, the left side, I have a scar about this big on my leg. They took all the insides out. It would just bleed and bleed and bleed. So I just, man, I didn't care. I could do it. And then I was the only guy in Japan. I had a bag this big full of weed. So, you know, hey, help me. So little by little, I got on them crutches, and I started walking. Exactly. And then all of a sudden, the guy tells me, no, man, you got to use a cane. Because he didn't believe I could get on the crutches. So he saw I was so determined, I got a cane. So I got that cane, man, and I started walking with it. But then I got smart. I would go on the wheelchair and hide it, and then I would just go a few doors down. And so he gave me, I got home, I came home. I was home for a little while. I had an argument with my father, threw me out of the house. I got busted. I volunteered, and I went back to Vietnam. I went back in the same thing, fighting. I volunteered for the field. I didn't want to be in the back, nothing like that. So I went back to the field, and everybody said, what did you come back for? And I'd laugh, to take care of you guys, and we'd laugh. And it was something that, how could I say, that if God didn't have his hand on me, it would have been over. Anyway, I came home the second time. I went to college. When I was in college, I ended up meeting some people. I ended up getting arrested for some bombings for the grape boycott. And that's what happened to me there. I got busted for bombings. They also got me for...
was Cesar Chavez?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I called Caesar, and I told him, I just got out. He goes, mijo, you should have never done that. I didn't ask you to do that. And I said, I know. And then they got me in the Biltmore también. They said that I lit Biltmore on fire when Ronald Reagan was the governor, and they had pictures of me, all that nonsense. Anyway, I get busted. I'm in the old county. This lady comes and visits me. I think it's my girlfriend, and I'm telling her, get out of the chair. And she don't want to get up out of the chair. And she goes, Mr. Aceves, I'm here for you. And I go, what? What are you doing, lady? And I sat down. And she picked up a thing that looked like a driver's license and put it at the door. And it said that she was the president of the Communist Card-Carrying Party. So she said she was going to get me out and this and that. And I told her, yeah, I'm not. I go, look, I'm a Mexican. I'm illiterate. You know, I'm ugly. And now you want me to be a communist? She goes, no. We understand that you people need to get justice. Well, they got me out through another agency. I got out, and things just got worse. Then the grand jury indicted me, and when the grand jury indicted me, I found out, and I went and hid, and that's how we started the Mongols, right there.
Now, what year is this?
I think it was already in '69.
But what I don't understand is how did I mean, okay, I know that you're saying that half the beginning chapter of the Mongols were ex-Vietnam veterans?
No, there was a few of us. Louis Costello a Vietnam veteran, and Babyface was another one. There was a few. There was 10 of us. And actually, I was hiding, he was having a problem with the gangs. So he told me he had a store. He goes, stay in the store, out they're robbing me. And I go, oh man, I knew all these guys. And I knew them, and we talked, and they just left us alone. And through that, well, we did a lot of things. You know what I mean? I mean, to say that we didn't, there's a picture there that they're going to show me where I went to a place where I had to stab 10 guys. Where, see this bump on my head? Where
Yeah.
they broke my head open, where I pulled the guy's eye out and knocked all his teeth out in a bumper of a car. And again, I want to make clear that this is how the devil had me.
Right.
I mean, my mind wasn't right. Nobody's going to do that in his right mind. So anyway, I was in the club, and then all of a sudden, I wanted to do more things, more exciting. So I hired out as a gun and a collector for different families. And I did that for a long time. I had met my wife when I was still in the club, and I married her, and we went on and on together through different things. And I would go to different states and countries and collect money or bring drugs or get somebody or whatever they would pay me for, I would do it. No matter what, I would do it. So that went on. So one day I had just taken a contract for a bombing. I had just taken a contract for a bombing to blow this place up. And me and my wife were hiding with my kids in a motel. And my wife told me, she goes, some of the kids' friends are coming from school. They want to talk to us. So I go, they want to talk to me? So I didn't care. I had a friend with me. We were going in the bathroom. We were shooting heroin at the time. And I shot up. And then I came out, and this guy goes, hey, man, you guys don't have to live here. Stay at our place and save money, and you'll be all right. And I go, yeah. And I thought to myself, I'll do this bombing, I'll get paid. All right, place to hide, and then I'll go rent me a place. Well, the guy had one stipulation, that when he came home from work, he was going to read to me the Bible. So as he would come home, he'd read the Bible to me. I would sit there with him, and he would tell me, what do you think this means, Al? And I would answer him, and every day, so I was getting high every day. So one day, just before he came home, I picked up the Bible and I started reading it before he came. Because he was reading from chapter to chapter, right? He wasn't jumping around, he was just reading. So when he came home, he goes, well, we're going to start here. And I go, I already read it. And he goes, what? You read it? I said, yeah, I already read it. He goes, well, what does it mean to you? And I told him what it meant. And he got all excited. He yelled at his wife, hey, Al already read it. So she already knew. She goes, I know, I just wanted to surprise you. So every day I would read the Bible before he got home from work. And one day this guy came in. He brought another guy with him. And the guy told me, he goes, hey, Al, wouldn't you like to fill that void in your life? Wouldn't you like to stop taking chances? Wouldn't, for once in your life, when people see you, they're not afraid or they're not scared of what you're going to do or take from them? And I told him, yeah, man, but that don't happen to people like me. And he goes, it can. He goes, let me introduce you to somebody named Jesus. And I just looked at him like, what? And he goes, yeah. And he started telling me about the Lord and how he's going to forgive me and this and that. And then I just broke. And I just wept. And then I accepted the Lord, and then I went into a Christian home, and I started running the home. I opened up a home for boys, and I was going to court.
Well, no, I want you to dwell a little bit more about when you accepted the Lord in your heart, bro. So you really, I mean, you felt it, right?
Well, like I said,
Share that with
it
us.
just broke. Now, remember, I was still using heroin.
No, I know
And
that.
I was still taking pills. But when he told me to accept the Lord, that I was going to be forgiven, that inside of me, that empty space was going to be filled for the first time in my life. Something inside of me just broke. I just started weeping, and I just kept my head down, and I just said, yes, I do.